Hey everybody, this is Jerichos, and welcome back to the cave. Last time, we found a hermit marooned on an island, and left him there. Yeah, there weren't enough seats in the boat, so he had to stay behind, but we're looking out for ourselves. That's what this crew does best, after all. Now, we have fallen down into a slightly familiar looking area, and if you head on, you'll find we're at the gift shop again. Well, maybe it's another part of the gift shop. Maybe this is the one before you leave. But head on through, and before anything else, you'll see a postcard display, much like the one that we took the postcard from at the start of the game. If you have brought the postcard this entire way, wrong button, put it back in the display, and because you decided after you stole the postcard to eventually bring it back, you will get the trophy Remorse. Yeah, long game for that trophy. Anyway, let's talk to this guy.
It took long enough. I was going to send out the search party, but they're still looking for the last group. You didn't happen to run into an annoying clown, did you? That doesn't matter. We just got a new shipment of trinkets that should satisfy your every desire. But I can't give them to you without suitable replacements. So, take this giant novelty-sized key, again, and open the employee's back entrance. I'm sure you'll find some treasures worthy of the cave's gift shop.
Yep, we're going through this section again, except it's slightly different this time. Now, it's funny, you notice the, treasures in the back there. The sword for the knight, the bear for the hillbilly, the employee of all time statue for the time traveler. We need to find something to replace those. This is going to look very familiar to the first episode, but it's also going to look quite a bit different. For one thing, you'll notice there's, props and set pieces. It doesn't look like a natural cave here. We've got... It looks like a movie set. And we also don't have any cave paintings or anything else to find, or puzzles to solve. In fact, it's pretty much identical in terms of layout and floor composition, but there's not any death traps like spikes. There's no crystal cave monster up here. In fact, it's kind of cool. If you wander up here, you'll even see this well is actually demolished, and there's, stuff in boxes. And there's no power here, no fuses, not even a lever to operate the machine. It's as if the whole thing has been a stage play, and we're finally seeing behind the scenes. I mean, even that giant bell is loaded up, the claw. It's like they're packing up to go home, which I kind of love the aesthetic of. Anyway, if we head on through, here it's a little different from the pool of water that we dropped into before, because we're so much deeper in the cave. But head on down. Even down here, no actual dynamite, just a bunch of signs. Starts to make you wonder if this was all real or just staged for their benefit. Who knows? But we finally come back to where we found the trinkets originally. Let's have the knight go up and grab the first one. You actually find the miner. And take his gold nugget. The hillbilly, you're going to go down, swim through the water again. And over here, we find the huntress, who's actually asleep. Take the monster trophy. I love you've actually got the tape recorder up above the mantle. And we don't even have to bring him back around. Let's have the time traveler go up. The switches are already pressed, so the door's open here. And she gets to go up top, and we got the hermit. We grab the dog. Yeah, we actually took Spanky. I do love that his tail's just wagging. He's just happy. And we call the elevator down. And, oh, right, hit the button again to ascend. Happy little dog. And that's all we had to do to get through there. Grab those trinkets, if you can call the dog a trinket. Climb back on up. And let's see if these will do for the gift shop clerk. Something tells me there's more going on here than we realize. But anyway, glide to the right. Seriously, I love that she can float over most bodies of water. And now we've arrived. Let's give him the dog.
Splendid. That will look nice on the shelf. Taking the thing someone else desires most was a stroke of genius. Here you go.
And we got what we desire most. Let's head on out and leave the cave. And here we get to actually climb up the longest ladder in existence. We've gone so far down that, I mean, imagine how long it would take to climb a ladder back to the top, especially climbing it one-handed and just, oh, I'm just running out of things to say to fill time as she keeps climbing ever higher. There we go. And for finally finishing, we get the last 2 cave paintings. Oh, and a trophy. What you always wanted. You get that for the first time you have a character climb the ladder and finish their story. A plan is executed. And the trouble with causality, she may have caused serious problems by, messing with time. You think? Anyway, her story is done. Now it's time to bring the hillbilly through and drop his trinket off.
Oh, that is very nice. After all, possession is 9/10 of the law. That other 1/10, there you go.
Yep, we got a giant pink bear. Now, here's the interesting thing. You don't have to walk out the door with it. You can actually talk to the gift shop clerk and return it. Basically show that you've learned a lesson from this and don't leave with it after the horrible things you've done.
Returning what you desire most is strongly discouraged. Are you sure that's what you want?
You have to talk to him a couple times.
You acquired that at great cost to those around you. You really should think this over.
Alright, one more time.
Very well. Just because it's you, I'll take it back.
And so you end up leaving the cave without taking something with you. Also, I love this sign, no returns, no exceptions. So, he's going out, and he decided he'd learned a lesson and returned that trinket. Maybe something will be different. Also, you'll notice you can jump up for a while, and then eventually it just forces you to climb normally. Tells you when you're about halfway there. And when you do this, you actually get a good ending. Instead of the story that unfolded like we saw in the cave, love will find you. And a happy house full of little Bill Hillies. When he gave up on the 2-legged lady, someone else came along and he actually, he found love. In fact, Zavatar was hinting at this, that when he stops searching for love, he'll find it. So he actually gets a happy ending because we chose the good option. And now we've finally got the knight. We're going to drop off his gold nugget.
Splendid. That will look nice on the shelf. Taking the thing someone else desires most was a stroke of genius. You earned it.
We've got his sword. Now, we got the bad ending for the time traveler, and honestly, she was the worst, so I definitely wanted her to get the bad ending. And the hillbilly, we got the good ending, because I felt he was just a victim of circumstance. Yeah, he did something wrong in the cave, but I feel he was actually a good person and deserved better. The knight is kind of halfway in between, and I've been having trouble deciding whether I want him to get the good ending or the bad. So I decided to settle on the age-old method of flipping a coin. So if it's heads, he gets the good ending. If it's tails, he gets the bad ending. Let's flip it and see what happens. Well, what do you know? Heads. So let's return the sword and maybe get the knight a little redemption.
Are you sure you want to return that? I mean, you worked so hard to get it. Look, you should really think carefully about returning this. Very well. Just because it's you, I'll take it back.
And now the knight will go ahead and leave. And I'll tell you, you notice because if you choose the good ending versus the bad, you get different cave paintings. To 100% complete the game, you have to go through the cave with every character twice and choose the different ending the second time through. Thankfully, it's not a super long game, but it adds a little bit to the whole repetition complaint some people have had. Confessions of a Lie. He admits that he isn't a real knight. And the rewards of honesty. The king actually sends an army to fight the dragon, and oh look, the princess actually kind of likes him because he told the truth. Much better than what happened in the cave where he, well, led to the downfall of the monarchy, we shall say. Anyway, we're done here with finishing their stories. All that's left is finishing the climb out of the cave. They've been climbing for so long, but if you keep going, eventually we're going to reach the top. I forget how long it is. I really thought we were almost there. Okay, here we go. Climb on out. And you'll notice not everybody's there. Somebody is conspicuously absent because they chose the bad ending. They didn't learn a lesson.
As we look back on the adventure we had this evening, it was not a total loss. Some realized the thing they desire most is also the thing to fear the most. Others could not escape the destructive grasp of glory, greed, or vanity. What is your object of desire? What grasp does it have on your future? Have patience. You will be down here soon enough, and we'll see what you're capable of. There is no hiding from the cave.
And thus, the adventure comes to a close. I really like that there's a slightly different ending depending on if everybody chooses the good ending, everyone chooses the bad, if there's a mixture, and it's kind of fun watching that. I like doing it where, you go through a couple times and maybe one of the times you choose one times you choose another. It lets you see all of them. I won't actually be showing off the full finishing cutscene for all of them because that just takes a long time to do. But we're not done with the game. There's more still to come because we've got 4 more characters and I want to show off each of their sections. We've got the twins, the adventurer, the scientist, and the monk. Next time we're going to be investigating one of those, but before we wrap up this episode, there's a fun thing that changes if you choose to go through the game again after beating it once. So let's go ahead and start over, and we'll pick different characters this time and see the fun change. I'm actually going to jump ahead to once we're at the point where we're exploring the caves for the gift shop trinkets, because that's where it's going to be different. So I'll see you guys in a minute. And so we've arrived just past the cave monster. We're about to enter the area where we find the trinkets for the gift shop, but I wanted to give my thoughts on the game since we've technically completed the story. I really like the game. I feel like it's an adventure game done right. It has kind of a bit of the point and click style without actually being point and click. And I love the way that things, give words that appear above them when they're usable. It lets you not be quite so lost. But the puzzles are still intriguing. Now, you'll remember the very first time we came down here, there were random trinkets that didn't seem to have anything to do with the cave. Maybe previous adventurers or something like that. This time, we go in, it's still the guitar. Okay. Not this one. One of them is going to be different. You'll see which one shortly. But we're going to wander through. And basically, another thought about the game, the music it's okay. It gives a bit of atmosphere, but it's not really memorable, I feel like. which is probably one of its few real downsides. But overall, the narrator, fantastic. The story is excellent. By the way, the twins' ability is they create a clone of themselves, so we can actually do this to hold down the button and pass through. Kind of a neat trick there. Story, narrator, all of that, fantastic. The way, like, the art style is amazing. Really, music is the only complaint I have. Now, if we head up here, something's different. We got a stinky dinosaur, we got a tube like a museum exhibit, and a skeleton of the time traveler with the greatest employee of all time. Yeah, if you choose the bad ending and decide to take your trinket with you, that character will occasionally be one of the choices down here. Basically, once you have at least 3 characters who have gone through and chosen the bad ending, it will no longer be those original trinkets. Now, it'll actually be the characters you've already completed the game with. So, sometimes it'll be the time traveler with this, employee of all time. Sometimes it will be the hillbilly with the pink bear, the knight with the sword, or one of our other adventurer choices. And I like that. It's kind of a neat touch to add a little bit of change to replayability that catches you off guard. Because, let's be honest, the first time you play through the game, you're probably going to just choose to leave the cave with everybody. You won't even realize it's an option to give the trinkets back. And I like that. So, it's a nice touch and a bit of weirdness to the game. Speaking of weirdness, oh, the twins are creeping me out. But we're not going to be dealing with them quite yet. Next time, we're going to take a look at the adventurer's story. So look forward to that one. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to click like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter if you want to stay updated with the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.